Good evening, everyone. It is now 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting of the Huntington Township Board of Supervisors to order. This time we will pledge allegiance to the flag. Thank you. Okay, any public comments on the agenda? Seeing none. Secretary Treasurer report. Okay. The minutes have been distributed to supervisors. Any comments or questions on the minutes?
I have none.
Okay,
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
it's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the bill list is up on the screen. Any questions or comments on that? Total expenditures were $33,241.75 for the month. From the general fund, rescue plan was $30,797.59 out of the ARP fund, and that was for the truck, correct?
Truck body, yeah. Dead.
And it's $470.24 out of the state fund, so the total expenses were $64,509. Any questions on the bills?
I have none.
Okay,
I'll make a motion, we accept the bill list.
I will second that. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Financial report for the month.
Okay, the financial report for April 10th. In the general fund, we had receipts of $35,989.36. Expenditures, $33,241.75. That lets a balance in the general fund of $833,343.48. In the ARP, we collected $1.14 in interest, and we closed the account by writing a check for $30,797.59. So because that got done before March 31st, that's a reporting period, and we'll have to report that in April before the end of April, but we'll be done now, so no more ARP. And in the state fund, interest received was $24.18. The expenditures were $470.24. That lets a balance in the state fund of $293,956.67. And total of all the accounts as of today is $1,127,300.15.
Thank you. Any questions on that? Okay. Thank you. Miscellaneous items. There's a local government day at the community media being hosted by community media on April 19th. You can have a booth there or anything like that, but it is available. Okay. What's the second day is the Earth Day celebration at the Ag Centers on April 21st.
Those flyers should be over there.
It's a different kind. They have a lot of events and different organizations are there. Anybody that would like to attend. Okay.
And there's one more thing. There's a medicine take back at the school on the 26th from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And they do take pet medicine also.
Thank you. Any questions on that? Okay. Roadmaster's report.
You know, we took the snow plows off the trucks, we serviced the mowers, we did some side gutter cleaning. Also, we've got road projects coming up. I have quite a bit of base repair to do. We'll be repairing base repairs. I'm approximately going to use 60 tons of blacktop at $80 a ton, which come out to about $4,800. Also, I'd like an approval to hire a part-time CDL driver for some of this road projects this summer. And that's all I have.
So the part-time person will be, how many hours do you expect?
I'm looking about 10 to 15 hours a week, just for as needed to
Okay.
run to the blacktop plant to get some blacktop for us for these
Okay.
base repairs.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Chuck? You guys okay with
Yeah,
hiring?
I'm okay with that.
We have a position in our, and a wage rate already established for that position, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, you wanna make a motion?
I make a motion, we give the roadmaster authority to hire part-time CDL driver as needed.
Okay, I will second that. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Excuse me. Why wasn't that on the agenda that you were going to hire someone? Or,
I think that was just brought up, his suggestion was just brought up now, and that's why we took action. Does that have, a hiring decision have to be on the agenda?
Well, is he actually hiring the person, or are you just telling him to interview people or put out an advertisement?
Well, you haven't hired anybody yet.
No, we haven't hired nobody.
So, because Paul's motion was the authority to hire, but you will actually do the hiring.
Right.
Alright, so, I mean, it's not on the agenda, but the action of hiring anybody isn't occurring right now.
Correct.
So I mean, even if it's a void item, all you're doing is just basically telling him to go and search.
could you
for
speak
an
up a little? I can't hear you.
It's just going to have him go and search for an employee. They're not taking action for him.
Okay. As you
So-
said, the motion was for something different, so.
So you're saying before we can hire the person, we're gonna have to vote on it at a meeting?
Or put it on the agenda to give him the authority. to do it.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you. Supervisor's report?
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
Okay, the only thing I attended I think it's down the road, it's on the agenda later, isn't about the litigation? Yeah, I'll talk about it then. Okay. Got zoning officer report?
Yeah. Create Chapel Hill Church of God, got an occupancy permit to install a daycare center for 12 kids, 1 to 5. On 310, building permit 25008, which is a renewal for Mark Lear to finish his house and garage, which is an ongoing project. I issued a permit on building permit 25009 to AT&T at Crown Castle, which is the cell tower on White Church Road. They're gonna add antennas and equipment for T-Mobile, which is an added service to that tower. BP building permit 2510, Tony Starner at 140 Georgetown Road for to build an office 14 by 26 and add a 30 by 20 foot 2-car garage to an existing house. A waiver letter to Terry Kohler at 391 Idaho York Springs Road. She's adding, replacing an existing roof and gutters, which are shot. 25011, Brian Potts at 8164 Carlisle Pike. He's building a pole barn, 31 by 50 feet, for his toys and stuff. 2512, Raymond Huffer at 90 Labor Camp Road will be removing a single wide mobile home, replacing it with a double wide we did a plus of 620 square feet. Darren Allman at 5533 Old Harrisburg Road. He's rebuilding a 6x8 porch down to the footers. Cole Milheims at 5254 Oxford Road is building a 60 by 96 foot barn. He helps rescue horses. Chapel Hill Church of God got a permit for a well permit to get qualified to have a daycare center. They're required to drill a new well and seal the old one. LCDM at 255 White Church Road. They applied for a permit for a 50 by 50 foot office building addition to that existing building. And that's with the building inspectors right now. That requires a change of use. Occupation permit to Rachel Isaac. She got a permit to add 29 rooftop solar panels. Those are completed and I got the final inspection. A waiver letter, David Pittman, 7129 Carlisle Pike. He's putting replacing the gutters on his house. Building permit 25014, Kathy McMaster at 1266 Gun Club Road. That's got a permit to install 35 rooftop solar panels. Carl Leach, I accepted an application for a conditional use hearing, which we'll have to schedule tonight. And that's for at 821 South Ridge Road. An occupancy permit, Darren Allman for the porch addition at 5535 Old Harrisburg Road to replace the front porch. That's completed. And that's it. Only other things, a couple problems with trash. Everyone knows that York Springs Borough has changed providers, and they send letters to the residents of Flowing Springs and dropped off new dumpsters for them. And we've been getting calls. Today we got 2 from people who were questioning whether we had changed providers. I told them no, and they had to send those back. But some of the people put the stuff in their garage and they can't get to them, so they'll have to take care of that over the time. Got a second complaint from South Ridge Road from a lady questioning about the truck traffic on the road, and she took a vehicle count one day, identified the trucks as being from JVI. I called Scott Barnhart, who checked into it and got back to me today to tell me that those trucks will be on that road, take care of a job they have for the next 3 weeks. But it's a public road, they can use it. We have received a couple of land development plans that'll be going before the Planning Commission. We received an application for a conditional use from Carl Leach for South Ridge Road for a go-kart track. And we need to schedule a hearing. Unfortunately, he didn't listen to me when I told him not to do it. And so now, we're dealing with something that's already accomplished. But he did fill out the application, paid the fee, and it's up to you gentlemen to hear this case. It's not I classified it as a sports complex. That's the only thing we got in our ordinance that you could put it under.
Okay. Any questions for Gus? We'll have to set a date here later for the conditional use hearing then.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
And that's it.
Thank you. Scott, engineer report.
Greenbrier Road, as I said last month, the road has been reopened and site restoration and cleanup is ongoing. Myerstown Road, bids for the project were due today, and we will open those bids under old business. Update to the subdivision land development ordinance is ongoing. The final draft is ready to be reviewed by legal counsel and the supervisors. Plans currently under review, JVI. Plan was conditionally approved at last month's meeting. 4J Farm, single lot subdivision. The plan was conditionally approved at the Planning Commission's last meeting. Board actions required by May 25th. EV clearing, Diller property land development plan was received for review. Board action is required by July 27th for that project.
What was the last one? EV, okay.
Yeah, EV clearing.
Any questions for Scott? The Ford, go ahead.
He said 4J is 525, and I believe that Mr. Scott said it was 54.
Okay. The 4J project was recommended, conditionally approved at the planning commission for us. It
Right.
did not get on the agenda, and it should have been on the agenda this evening, so we can't take action on it. But since it didn't get on the agenda, I would like to, I think we should have, it was our mistake, it didn't get on. I think we should have set up a meeting to get it approved, to get it moving, so we don't hold them up. Okay. Is there any issues or questions about that?
What did you say about the May 4th? It's
Yeah, so he said May 4th, which I think he was counting from the day that he submitted it. But does your ordinance have a counting feature where it's 90 days from the
it's
first
90
planning
days
commission?
from the first planning commission meeting,
Okay.
after submission.
So, before we have a
Which is-
special meeting, I'll contact him and talk, if
Which
he's
is May
fine.
25th.
Yeah, if he's fine waiting to our May meeting, we'll get it on the agenda and get it taken care of then. Okay,
That's reasonable.
okay.
Let me add to that. Scott reviewed the plan to make sure that it's complete. It was conditionally approved by the planning
Right.
commission. Normally, that kind of thing has to come back to the planning commission to be approved.
Right. Okay. Any other questions for Scott? As far as the saldo, I started about halfway through it. There's a lot of information in there, obviously. I agree that, Todd, you should review it to make sure there's no issues there before we take any action on it, obviously. So,
Who has it? Is it in a Word document somebody can email to me?
Yeah.
I think Andrew already
Yeah.
sent it to you.
I don't recall receiving it. Andrew from the county?
Yeah.
correct.
Markham.
Okay. Thank you. Fire company reports, anything? Okay,
They sent their regular reports, nothing.
okay. Nobody's present. Okay,
Right.
next is auditors reports. Yes, sir.
For the auditor of Huntington Township to bring the audit for the year 2024. The audit was filed at Adams County Courthouse and DCVD. It was also published in Gettysburg Times. Township began the year with $1,003,863. Revenues for the year was $900,512. Expenditures for the year were $732,563. That leaves the total at the end of the year 2024 at $1,171,812. That completes the report on the audit. I'd like to thank Pat Davis, Chuck King for their assistance during the audit process, and it was a pleasure to serve the community, and thank you.
Thank you guys.
Do you have any questions for the auditors? Okay, thank you. Okay, the next item is under old business. Review and approve the Greenbrier culvert replacement progression. It's the road's open, as Scott reported. There are just a few touch-up things, I guess.
Yeah, some site restoration and cleanup.
Okay. Okay, the next item is review and approve the Myerstown Road culvert replacement progression. As we mentioned, it was put out for bid, so it's time to open those bids. So we received like 4 here. So open them up and I'll read the numbers. The one I have is from Dolly, DOLI Construction. And the bid is $323,113. Okay. Next one.
So if I'm on the right page, Lobar has a bid of $182,940.
Who was that involved?
Lobar.
Total bid, it says total bid. Okay. Okay,
Second. Yeah.
There you go.
339,950. 339,950.
and that, who is that?
Hobbs Excavating.
Okay. The one from Kinsley, I believe.
$283,620. $283,620.
So we have quite a difference in the bids.
Was the one 180 something?
It was Lobar.
182 and 40.
Okay.
Such a disparity.
Everybody realized.
Scott, do you think it's possible there's a mistake in that, or?
Yeah, I'll have to review that
I'm-
because there's no way they can do it for that low. I'll have to review it and talk to them.
You two will both review it, right?
Yeah, no matter what.
But just looking at it quickly, the biggest discrepancy I see is the ALBC installation. Lobar has 60,000. Dolly has 216,000. There's 160.
Installation?
Yeah. Yeah. Right there's 160. I mean, that's 160,000 right
Now,
there.
you say the ALBC
Yeah.
installation.
The second line
Yeah,
item
yeah.
too.
This one has 99.5.
That's where it should be. It should be 60 to 90.
Okay. 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 I'll make a motion, we accept the low bar after we have the engineer and the solicitor review for accuracy and legal
Yeah.
requirements. Since, I mean,
It has to be.
yeah, so,
If they don't meet the specs, do we bring it back in again, or do we take the second bid?
I think we can come back again personally.
Okay.
I mean, what,
You could go to the second bid, like if there's some sort of clear mistake and or it's not considered a responsive bid because they messed something up, then you can go to the next lowest responsible bidder.
and who was the second?
No, it's Kinsman.
At 283.
Hensley.
Okay. I guess I'll revise my motion to say we'll accept the low bar bid of $182,940 conditional above the approval of the engineer and solicitor. And if they are by default don't meet the requirements of the bid, we award the contract to Kinsley for the $283,620. That work?
That works.
You okay with that, Scott?
Yeah.
Good with that?
Is that in the form of a motion?
It was, yes.
Okay, I will second
Okay, it's
that.
been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Question, please. Is Low Bar the one that also did Greenbrier?
No.
It's not. Okay.
Okay, update the ADA review. Obviously, we have parking spots painted. The door jams, the door's been widened to meet the requirements of the act. We've gotten some quotes to do some of the other projects, including the front door. The glass needs to be changed. It's not quite low enough. It's 2 inches too high. So once we get a final quote, then we will take action on that. Okay, update the website transition. We talked last month, we had the county website and ours. I contacted the county. Our information is still on the county website of all our officials. But there's a link, if you link on that, it goes right to our website. So our website, the Huntington Township, HuntingtonPA.net is the official website, and that will be the one that will be maintained and updated. Okay, update and approve the contracts and donations. We have a list of those in front of us. Unless you guys are opposed, you want to start with the contracts. The first comment, the workers' comp, we're obligated to pay our portion of the workers' comp with Bendersville, Heidelberg, New York Springs, and we will do so again.
Yeah, that's not a donation,
No,
that's
that's-
more like information.
Yes. Okay. Our current contracts are $20,000 with the fire company, and PMC $10,000. Any questions? Any motions on that or questions on that?
Would make a motion, we do that again for this year at those rates.
Okay, it's been moved. We leave the contracts for York Springs Fire Company and UPMC ambulance at the $20,000 and $10,000 as they are now. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved to second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The other request, the fire, let's go to the fire companies. Currently 5,000 Bendersville, 25 Heidelberg, 12.5 York Springs. Bendersville will ask for an increase to 6,000, I believe. I don't think we got anything in writing from the other two that I recall.
No, we did not.
Okay. Any questions on that or comments?
Give me those amounts again.
5, 2,500, and 12.5. I'll make a motion, we increase Spendersville to 6,000, leave Heidelberg at 2,500, and increase York Springs to 13,500.
Okay. Is that in the form of a motion?
It is.
I'll second it.
6,000 to Bendersville, 25 to Heidelberg, and 13,500 to York Springs. Is the motion and the second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The other request we had from the York Springs Senior Center, we've traditionally given 1,000. Historical Society 700. East Berlin Library 500. 750 to Spay and Neuter. 750 to SPCA, and 200 to the County Office of Aging.
Sunnyside Cemetery was a monetary amount with work performed.
Okay. We will, okay. So we will, that's a donation, but not a cash donation.
Correct.
In lieu of cash, okay.
I'll make a motion that we keep those the same.
Okay,
And if Sunnyside needs a little work here and there or something, then we could provide that to them
okay.
in lieu of cash donation.
Okay, it's been moved. We leave the donations as they are. Do a second to that?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved in second to leave the donations as they were last year. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Acknowledge PennDOT response regarding Route 34 in York Springs, Idaho Road. We contacted the state about the concern about trucks turning there, and they replied to us. They did a traffic study, and they were going to limit heading south on 34. Any truck over 30 can't make a left turn, and heading north, you can't make a right turn. So they're going to limit trucks making that turn over 30 feet. They're going to put signage there. It's the state road, it's not our road, but they're going to take care of that. Okay? Discuss and approve line painting on township's roads. Jack, you want to talk about the line painting?
Yeah, I got 2 quotes here for line painting. We'd like to do 5.93 miles. I have one quote is $3,600, and the other quote is $5,400.
And that is Oxford Road.
Oxford Road, White Oak Tree Road, Myerstown, or not Myerstown, Labor Camp, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's the ones.
And we've had people ask about the Oxford Road before, so that's what we got the prices. Okay.
Yeah, now we've got the prices, yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing the heavily traveled roads.
There's no reason we shouldn't accept the lower bid. I mean,
No, the lowest one is from Alpha Systems in Fayetteville.
okay.
Yeah.
Any questions about that? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the painting of the 5.93 miles of roads for $3,600.
I'll second it.
Okay. So I made that motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine. I made that motion. You second it then?
Yeah.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay. That's all the old business. New business. The review and approve hazard mitigation plan. The county has a hazard mitigation plan that they are required to update every 5 years by federal law. They had their first meeting today. I attended it, and it's basically natural disasters, things like that. It's not response, it's just how you try to prevent things like flooding, that type of thing. And a lot of it has to do with if you have your land development plans and your ordinances in place, to be honest with you. So I attended that today. So if we accept the county's plan, then we are covered for any federal reimbursement. So obviously I think we need to continue doing that.
Does that need to be in the form of a motion?
I think, yes, we should make a motion that we're going to, they don't have the plan done yet. They're just,
But when it is complete?
yes. So I don't think we need to take action at this point in time. We're just, they're gonna do different work before they send it out, and then we can accept it at that time.
Okay.
Okay?
This does have it says, please complete the agreement to it basically says you're gonna cooperate in the process, is that,
And we are.
it says to do it no later than April 18th.
Okay,
So
so
is there
I
something that needs to be done?
guess we need to take action.
Okay, then I'll make that motion that we
Okay.
become a cooperator.
Okay, very good.
I'll second.
Been moved and second to work with the county on the hazard mitigation plan. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Approve ACATO membership for 25. And how much is that membership?
I think it's $25.
Okay, that's the Adams County Association of
Yes.
Township Officials. I'll make a motion, we retain our membership to the Adams County ACATO. There's a second. Been moved
Here,
and
let me,
second.
let me double check that. Here it is. $25.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Inform the public of register of wills, recorder of deeds, new regulation for size. So,
That information's on the side table also in case anybody,
okay, so they won't,
Stuff up
they
there.
won't accept, if you have to record a plan with the county, it can't be any larger than 18 inches by 24 inches, so,
That's how big their file cabinet
okay?
And then they scan them in and then they look terrible and try to read them.
Okay.
It's frustrating.
Inform the public of PennDOT's local road count program for 25. So they're going to be doing traffic counts on locally owned roads within your municipality, and those roads are Oxford Road, between Dead End and Smith Road, that's a very short section.
You gotta get many out.
Mills Road, which is also a very small section,
Yeah.
and Old Ziegler Mill Road.
They got 3 winners.
Those are really heavy travel.
Yeah, okay, so,
We can count them in our hands.
okay. Discuss and approve the intergovernmental agreement with Butler Township. You want to give some background on that, Chuck?
Yeah, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do a labor swap between, like to do a labor swap between Butler Township and us. What we're gonna do is crack seal, which it takes 4 guys to proficiently do that correctly. So what we're gonna do is, they're gonna come down here and help us for a week, and we're gonna go up there and help them on their roads for a week.
Okay. Todd, you wrote the agreement up, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions about that? Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the intermunicipal agreement between Butler Township and ourselves. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And then the resolution, just the intergovernmental act that you do these agreements by, you have to have an agreement and then you're supposed to have a resolution as well. So there's 2 things.
Okay, so we have a resolution. Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution to share employment labor with Butler Township.
I'll second.
Been moved in second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, discuss and approve the purchase of a used roller from Allen Township. Can you explain that, Chuck?
Yeah, Miscellaneous Township, they contacted Paul. They seen in the paper that we are going to be renting a roller.
Okay.
So they have a roller, used roller for sale. They contacted Paul, and Paul told me. We went up and looked at it, and we offered them $4,000, and they're willing to take $4,000 for it.
And you've inspected the equipment, correct?
Yeah, I was up, inspected it. There's one little thing that doesn't work on it, but that is a solenoid, electric solenoid that needs replaced. I priced the solenoid right around $250.
Okay, and if we were gonna rent one, if we purchase it, we don't have to rent one, correct?
Correct. We will not have to rent one if we purchase it, and then if we have it, then from here on out, when I rent a roller for a month, it's $1,800. So basically, if I rent a roller twice,
Okay.
we have it paid for.
Okay. And they're buying a new one, that's why they don't need this one?
Yes, correct. They already purchased it, rather.
Okay. Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the roller for $4,000.
I'll second
Okay, well, entertain.
it. Oh, I'm making a motion.
I'll make a motion to that
Okay.
effect.
Okay. And Jeff, you second it?
Yes.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, discuss and approve the details of the 25 road project.
25 road project, the big one will be tar and chipping, White Church Road, and Rolling Road and Willow Lane. We need to, we'll have to put that on, advertise the newspaper and put it out for bid. That advertise it in the newspaper, we're gonna be,
On those 3 roads.
yeah, on those 3 roads.
Okay.
How many total miles, do you know? That's all right.
3 point some odd miles. We're doing double seal on it, double that.
Okay.
So right around 180,000, between 160, $180,000.
Okay, that's what you're expecting to bid based
Yeah.
on, okay. Okay. I see no reason we shouldn't put it out once we get the bids, we decide if we want to proceed or not at that point in time. So I'll make a motion, we put the White Church Road, Rolling Road, and Willow Lane out on bid. Your second,
I'll second it.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Subdivision, JBI. Nothing new on that.
Nothing, we're waiting for,
And we already talked about the,
they got their
Other one.
HOP and the counties are gonna approve their NPDS, but I guess we haven't seen anything yet.
okay.
It was conditionally approved.
It was conditionally approved, right.
So they just have to meet the conditions.
Right.
And you can sign.
Okay. And we talked about the 4J already. Okay, right to know request on April 8th, Marie DeGangi, Salt and Hughes invoices for February of 25. April 8th of 25, Marie DeGangi, Share Design Group invoices for February of 25. Upcoming meetings, Huntington Township Plan Commission is on Monday, April 28th at 7. Our next meeting is May 8th at 7, and the REMA meeting is July 2nd at 6 at Manawan. Public comment? Dan Resch? Not Dan, I'm sorry, Ron. Sorry.
Back to the Auditor intersection.
Yes.
We make that turn now with a 45-foot trailer coming towards Pollock.
Okay.
If they say we can't make that turn, we're gonna be turning at the old Musselman plant in Gardner's. We're gonna come across Shortcut and make the turn on the Idaho York Springs Road.
Okay.
They have not done anything about coming out there with tractor trailers.
Okay.
That's the only other way to get there. But we make the turn now with a 45-foot trailer.
Okay.
I mean, I can make it, and I don't drive a truck that much.
Okay.
So that's an issue of that intersection of Idaho, York Springs, and Shortcut. That's where the trucks that are gonna go down the Idaho Road to York Springs, that's where they're gonna wind up coming out.
Okay.
O'Malley's come out there now.
Right.
I don't know if they've had any near misses or not. It takes the
Well-
whole road.
Most tractor trailers today are 53 foot.
Right, understand.
And I came up there today and I got sitting there because there was a truck who got into the turn and then had us
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue is there's a lot of drivers not from around here and they don't know how to make that turn.
Yeah.
And that's what created the damage and the issue at that intersection.
I mean, I
I understand.
It's just gonna push it down the road,
Sure.
and that's a blind turn there, that blind knob,
Right. Okay.
that's all. I mean, that's something that should be forwarded to them, because that's gonna be the alternate.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, just a question on the donation to Sunnyside Cemetery. Could you just give a little background? It's interesting because it's an annual donation that the township gives. What's the, is this a historical cemetery? Because there's so many cemeteries in the area.
It's it's historic when it's still an active cemetery. It's the one up on Sunnyside Hill,
You know,
where the Memorial Day celebration typically is.
yeah.
It's at the end of Idaho Road, you go straight across, it's up on the hill. It has its own association, but we've always helped them.
Yeah,
Ever
if
since
they
I've
need any
remembered.
work done, like with equipment, I was up there last year and removed some stumps for them.
Okay.
And what we do, we keep track of the time and then we just deduct that off of their donation. They actually like that more than they,
In the cash.
in the cash, yeah.
Because they have equipment, you have equipment they don't have.
Right.
I was wondering what the affiliation is, because it's the only cemetery that the township does that for.
I think it's the only public cemetery
In the area.
in the area.
Mhm.
I mean, there's some historic cemeteries in the township.
Right.
In the township
Mhm.
that are on private property.
So it's not church-related. It's a public.
It's a public cemetery.
I don't think it's church related to my knowledge.
No.
Okay, thank you. And I do want to assert a Sunshine Act violation concerning the hiring of a part-time employee, CDL.
We
Employees.
didn't hire anybody. We said we could start taking applications, so we did not take action on
But
it.
it wasn't specifically noted on this agenda, so
But we didn't hire anybody.
I know you
We-
didn't.
we
I'm just saying
discussed
it wasn't on.
We discussed the possible hiring of a part-time employee.
Are you refusing to put this in the minutes?
I'm not refusing, I'm just trying to clarify the.
Okay, I'm asserting that it's a Sunshine Act violation.
Okay. Okay. Any other, yes,
Betsy Howard
yes.
on Rolling Road. How are
Yep.
you guys? There was a gentleman in here in a past meeting, sharing with you guys his issue with the water running off somebody
Mhm.
else's property. Was that resolved?
Half of it.
Pardon?
Half of it.
We wrote, we contacted the property owners about the spouting.
Yeah, the father fixed his problem, moved the spout.
Okay.
The son, I think we're gonna take a 2x4 to him.
Well, I think, what did we instruct him to do, and if they didn't, then we need to, what's our recourse to deal with this?
Well, he's gotta reroute his spouting.
Okay, well, then I think, if he hasn't done that, we need to write him another letter and give him a deadline to do that, and if not, then we need to proceed with what we need to proceed with.
Wasn't that was the recommendation.
Right.
And
But was there a timeline on the letter that we wrote him for completion? If not, we need to do that and
Yeah,
follow up that.
well, this one will be a little
Okay,
stiffer.
that's the action we need to take at this
I
point.
mean, I don't know if he understood that because it sounds like the water from his drain field runs down there too. But what the reference in Scott's comments was that he needed to reroute the downspouts from the house.
Okay,
It's a hell of a lot easier than moving a drain field.
okay. To answer your question?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other public comment? Okay, if not, I'll make a motion for adjournment for a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.